very warm welcome to all of you, our esteemed guests, honorable dignitaries, to the 24th Asia Business and Social Forum 2024.
Namaste, a very good evening to all of you. It is a great pleasure to be here with all of you. And I feel honored to represent my great nation, India, as a proud citizen. 24th edition of the Asian Business and Social Forum is a perfect thinking cap moment. As industrious leaders, entrepreneurs from various sectors of industry, gathered from all across the globe for a dialogue and discussion at this prestigious event. Asiaone deserves a great applause and appreciation for organizing this event. Kindly put your hands together for them. And let me also tell you that I am a regular reader of Asiaone magazine, and whenever I wish to read about what's happening in Asia, credible news and content on the most of the Asian countries and the entrepreneurs, you are my preferred URL. India's economic growth and its expanding diplomatic influence are becoming the most engaging stories in the international media. Today, Indian flag, Indian rupee and Indian passport are respected and trusted. And the credit of this goes to 180-degree shift which Prime Minister Modi has brought in the last 10 years through our foreign policy. If you ask me to explain the emergence of India on the international arena and effectiveness of our foreign policy in the last 1 decade, Prime Minister Modi continues to be the most popular and renowned world leader with 69% approval rating in the last 5 years continuously. India has always been very supportive towards the small countries. In the global arena, India is no longer a passive receptor. It has become an active initiator. And world pays attention when our leader speaks because he represents 1.4 billion Indians, say about 1/7 of the world humanity or the world population, that is about 17%. Which is the 1/6 of the global population. India first is the soul of our foreign policy, and I'm going to give you a few examples how India sets narrative to maintain global peace, combat against climate change and global security threats. We have played a key role during the Paris conference and Paris agreement we came out with, and also launched the International Solar Alliance and a coalition with over 120 countries headquartered at Gurugram in India to promote renewable energy. Not only climate change, but the global security, India has emerged as a powerful voice against terrorism. India persuaded the West and several other countries to realize that there is nothing called good or bad terrorism. Terrorism is terrorism, whether it is good or bad. Terrorism is the enemy of humanity, and India has mobilized the world for a global action against terrorism. And I can tell you, in India also, 10 years back you might have heard of German bakery bomb blast 26/11 to many such other incidents. But in the past 10 years, we have kept a check on terrorism, and we are committed to eradicate it from every nook and corner of the country. There are still some of the countries that fund and support terrorism as its policy. But sooner or later, the tides will turn against such countries as well. I don't need to name anyone. Most of you know, and they are facing the same challenge at home who are promoting the terrorism earlier. And they're promoting it today as well. Since 2014 onward, positioning the country to play a pivotal role in leading Asia, India earnestly aspires to become the capital of Southeast Asia. However, our vision and mission extend far beyond any specific region. In fact, the Global South is also looking to India to be its voice on the global stage. And if you look at the G20, what India hosted recently, we spoke and as Prime Minister committed in the past for a permanent seat for the African Union on the G20. We made it happen, and that is how our voice is heard at the international level. Well, we have seen the worst time of the last century, that was the COVID-19 pandemic. Many examples were given here. For us, the challenge was how to save the lives of 1.4 Indian billions. If you look at our past, say about 7 years back, we used to import most of the vaccines in the last 60 years. But during the COVID-19 pandemic, not one, but we made 2 vaccines. We have administered 2.2 billion vaccines to Indians free of cost in India, saved their lives, but also at the same time, supplied the vaccine to more than 100 countries across the globe and saving millions and millions of lives. 298 million life-saving COVID-19 vaccines were given to these countries. And Bangladesh has got the largest quantity across the globe. A couple of days back, India pledged to provide $7.5 million and 40 million vaccines for cervical cancer in the Indo-Pacific region. This shows the human face of India's foreign policy. I sincerely wish that certain Western and Middle Eastern country or the media, driven by the outdated prejudices against India, would take time to reflect upon and start telling India's real story. Don't trust if a particular frustrated person, thrice rejected by people, go on a global platform and talk against India and try to give a negative portrayal about India. They will not tell you about the Make in India success, but they will somehow give you the Break in India stories, or they have the Break in India objectives. If you look at the past 10 years, in 2014, India was the 10th largest economy. In last 10 years, today, we stand as the 5th largest economy of the world. And I'm proud to say what the global leader says today and what they predict about India, that in next 3 years, India is going to be the 3rd largest economy of the world. So India, the fastest growing economy, is a great melting pot of the IMG, innovation, ambition and growth. The primary reason is that India's economic and geopolitical landscape is rapidly evolving under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. Today it is widely acknowledged that India is an emerging story of economic prowess and progress under the able leadership of Prime Minister. In just a decade, from a lost decade to decade and decade of gains, it is not a simple story. It is due to his hard work and his able leadership. Once counted among the fragile 5 economies, now among the first 5 economies. We have lot to do and lot to give back to the society within India and across the globe. Well, many has said that by 2030, India will become the $7 trillion economy. More than that, what gives us more satisfaction? In last 10 years, we have opened 540 million bank accounts. We have made 40 million new houses for the poor. We have given LPG gas cylinder to cook food to more than 120 million women. We have made more than 130 million toilets in 3 years, and we have provided 140 million water tap connection to get the portable connection to each and every household. If you look at the road construction, the speed is more than 3 times if you compare it with the 2014. The number says it all. It is not only that the Indian economy is growing, at the same time, what you rightly said, how to, the handle the big challenge of poverty. India is one example where 250 million people have come out of the multi-dimensional poverty line in last 10 years. That is how our schemes have worked, how we have implemented it successfully. On the other hand, when many people said that India is talking about digital things, look at the digital success in India. 600,000 villages are going to be connected with broadband and Wi-Fi by the end of 2025. More than 3 lakh villages are already connected. At the same time, today India is the world's largest digital payment maker. 46% of the digital payment made across the world are done in India. Indian rupee is accepted across the world now. I mean, most of the countries we have an agreement with that. Our pharmaceutical companies are doing extremely well. If you look at the Silicon Valley, most of the CEOs, they come from the Indian background. If I look at the successful businessmen here, most of them, they have the roots from India. We are so proud of you that you have come to this part of the UAE and made all of us Indians proud. We are so grateful that you have done it so. Not only this, Prime Minister Modi has set a target for all Indians that we have to become a Viksit Bharat by 2047. That means India has set an aim to become a developed nation by 2047. And that is how we all are going to contribute in that direction. I invite all of you, come invest. There is a huge market available. There is the world's largest skilled manpower, you could say, is available in India as well. In this part of the UAE, we Indians are making a large contribution. But I am also grateful to the rulers of this region who have allowed one thing which was impossible few years back. Our Prime Minister took up the issue with the ruler and they allowed to build the Hindu temple here, and we all are so proud. I met Mr. Kodecha today this evening. When I came here about 3 years back, they were saying they are about to, finish it in next couple of years. Well done. You all have done this. We are so proud of you. At the same time, what we have seen, you are the real brand ambassadors for India. You come here, you don't create a noise. We live here peacefully. And I can say the India-UAE partnership stands for peace, progress and prosperity. Indians have contributed towards the progress of this region and brought prosperity and created wealth for the UAE region as well. My dear friends, I won't make a long speech, but all I want to say is Make in India is a grand success. 6 years back, 97% of the mobile phones were imported into India, either from China, Taiwan, Vietnam. Today, from 2 manufacturing units of mobile phones, India has more than 200 industries. Manufacturing units, we have become the second largest mobile manufacturer in the world in just 7 years' time. We are going to open the semiconductor area. There are 1,000 crore of investment coming our way. 7 projects are already approved. If you look at the PM recent visit to US, a very successful meeting with the IT industry people. The top 15 CEOs have met him, and that clearly showcased that the world has lot of interest in India. I'll give you a few figures how a good leadership can change, as we have seen in the UAE region, especially the Dubai. In the last 40 years, what Mr. Shukla was telling me, that since his childhood he has seen the progress. You could see, look at India. In 2014, we have 96,000 kilometers of national highways. Today we have 150,000 kilometers of national highway. At that time, we used to build 30 kilometers of rural roads in one day. Today we built about 91 kilometers roads in one day. 12 kilometers of national highway used to be built in one day. Today we built about 30 kilometers of national highway. At that time, we have 300 medical colleges. Today we have 700 plus medical colleges. 550,000 medical MBBS seats, it has gone up to 1,20,000 medical seats in last 10 years. 700 universities, it has gone up to more than 1,200 universities in India today. From 7 All India Institute of Medical Sciences, it has gone up to 23. That is the size and scale. What we have achieved in 60 years, we have built about 74 airports. In last 10 years, we have built 80 new airports in India. So that is how we are building the road network, rail network, and apart than that. But still we need to do a lot. It's a 1.4 billion population, huge country. From rural tribal areas to this. But the best part is the Indian democracy, where a woman from a tribal area has reached up to the highest post in the country. The President of India, Shrimati Draupadi Murmu, is a tribal woman. That is the beauty. And if you look at the previous president, the past president, he used to come from a scheduled caste community. Very poor family. Look at the Prime Minister Modi. He comes from the other backward class, from a very poor family, from a tea seller to the post of Prime Minister. That is the beauty of the democracy and of India, where if you have the will, you can go places. If you have the potential, there is no limit to you. So I invite all of you to please come to India, travel, see India, and I'm sure we can do wonders together. Toys is a very small segment to say, but most of the toys were also imported in India a few years back. With the productivity link incentive scheme, it has gone 2.5 times. Now we export it. We used to import the defense equipments. Today, we have an annual production of close to $15 billion of the defense sector, and we exported worth $3 billion last year. In each and every sector, we are trying to make a mark, and I'm sure with the tractors and the electrical equipment, export has gone 3 times in the last 7 years. This clearly shows in each and sector, we are trying to give our contribution. India is making a mark. And if some of you who have established business here, you can see a big market, a future growth in India. And I'm sure you're going to come and be a part of it. And once again, I would like to thank you, the organizers. At the same time, long live India-UAE partnership. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
As I said on the stage, it's really an honor to be recognized at such a great forum, and truly delighted and elated. Thank you.
I'd like to congratulate Mr. Rajat Raj Shukl for this wonderful edition of Asia One Magazine's award ceremony.